Welcome back. So now we've added a couple of events and we can listen to those, but we're not doing anything with the data we're getting back. That should be the next thing we want to do. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to try and explain to people when we're kind of dragging over, we want to inform whoever wants to know it outside the directive, then now you need to do something. We are dragging over now. You need to change some CSS, you need to add a class, you need to do something because something is changing right here. How to do that? Well, we're going to add right here an event emitter, right? So we're going to try and explain to the system that we're going to add some kind of output right here. So let's just do an output. Now we've already tried working with these before, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. Now to kind of do an output, what we're going to do is to kind of add an event emitter right here. So we'll just put in the parentheses right there, and then we'll make some kind of event emitter. And right now we'll just call it hovering, so like we're hovering over something right now. And the hovering is going to be equal to a new event emitter. So remember again, the event emitter, we used those earlier as well. And that's going to be from Angular core as well. Remember to pick the right libraries right there. And that new event emitter is going to return some type of Boolean value. And we can actually explain that. We want to kind of explain if it's there or not right now, if you're hovering or not right now, by just putting in a Boolean value right here to explain that's what we're going to return with the event emitter right there. Sweet, that's kind of all we had to do. Now we can start posting to the people outside of this directive that we are actually, something is changing right now. We're dragging over or we're not dragging over, right? I just want to get rid of this, sorry about that, but it's just annoying with, yeah, there we go. We just want a few extra lines. So now what we need to do is kind of say when we're dragging over, we want to send to whoever's listening that right now we are hovering. So this guy would be true. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to say this.hovering to kind of get the event emitter dot emit. And that just pretty much means now I'm going to explain to whoever's listening that right now we're hovering. So we'll just say true right here. Right now we are over the object. And then if we are not hovering right here when we're leaving, we want to also be able to send an event, but now it's going to be false, right? Now we're not hovering anymore. Now let's just try and see how that works. So jumping into my profile HTML file, we're going to try and add this new hovering right here in the HTML code. It's pretty simple. It's just adding a square bracket right here, parentheses right here to kind of explain. We're going to add some kind of listening right here. And then it's just adding a method. What should we do when we're hovering, right? We could start doing something. And what we're going to do right now is just make a function just called hovering, like this. I don't know if hovering is a good name, but that's the one I picked. And that function is actually going to just get the information by sending in the event right here to that function. So that's going to get the Boolean value if we are hovering or not. So let's just try and jump into the profile page and just make this new function. I'll just do it right below the undestroy here. And there we go. Now we have the hovering. And again, you can put in a name here. Let me just put in the name event. And then we're going to just console log this event right here. Event. There we go. Let's actually just put in some text here, just saying in profile comp. There we go. So we just know that's where we're getting the Boolean value right now. So what we want to do is the final thing. I just want to go into the directive and remove the console logs for the over and the leave event right here because I don't want to kind of show those there anymore. So let's just try and see if this actually worked. If we can now tell people who are using the directive that we're actually hovering over that device right now. So let's just try and see if this actually works. I'm going to try and drag my file over here as always and hover over. Now it keeps printing it again and again, but still it's working, right? I'm just getting from the profile comp that it's true right now. Going back, it's false. Now in my case, I don't need the hovering to stay there again and again and again. I just need it once, right? So we're going to make a small fix for that. So let's try and fix that. Now the first thing I want to kind of notice right here is, right now I'm using the drag over. That sounds like something that's going to keep sending event while I'm over the actual tag, right? But I also have another one called drag enter. So that sounds like something that only happens once when I'm entering, and then I'm using the other one when I leave. So maybe it's just switching those around. And I know a lot of you smart developers out there are saying, oh Lars, why didn't you just do that in the beginning? Why did you use the drag over? Why not the drag enter? Let's have a look. Now I'm adding the drag enter instead of the drag over. Let's see if this fixed our problem. Jumping back to the code, I'm going to try and drag in here. Yay! We're only getting one event. So we told you, Lars, we told you you're, oh, come on, you need to do that next time yourself. But look at this. I'm going to drop this now. What? What happened? It worked before. The drop event worked before. Now the problem is actually that, wait for it, when you're not preventing the default value of the drag over, it actually drops like we just saw. So we have to add another event listener now in our system to kind of make this work. So we're going to add another guy. We have the drag enter, we have the drag leave, and we're going to re-implement the drag over because we need it. Why do we need it? We need it to kind of add a prevent default for that event, right? We don't want to send anything, but we just need it to kind of explain to the system, I want you to ignore the drag over and prevent all default actions. So that's why I kind of had to add it in the end to kind of show you guys this problem. So now it should work all the way through. Let's try here. Yeah, we only get it once. We only get one. And now when we drop it, everything works. See you in the next lesson.